1,000 ways that won't work. This is one of my favorite quotes by Thomas Edison. If Edison had stopped and given up at his 100th or even 1,000th try at creating the light bulb, you might not even have been here to see me on the stage today, under all these bright lights. Now, how many in the audience have wanted to accomplish something, but hit so many dead ends that you decided to give up? What about when you decided not to give up and had worthwhile outcomes? Feels good, right? Scenarios like these happen all the time, to me included. But how can we stay motivated to not give up when nothing is working? Early on, we have always associated failure with a negative connotation, thinking we shouldn't fail because it can lead to bad things. This has been ingrained into our minds from a young age, which has made it hard to see farther to the end goal. Everyone wants to succeed in life, but we've never really stopped to think about the journey that got us to that point. Looking back, I can recall one of my earliest experiences with failure, one that taught me the importance of the journey it takes to succeed. It was the summer of kindergarten, and all my friends in my neighborhood were learning to ride their bikes without training wheels. And because they were doing that, I obviously had to follow. So, I asked my dad to take the training wheels off my bike and teach me how to ride it. Every day after he'd come back from work, I would ask him to teach me how to ride my bike without training wheels. But you know how parents are. He would be too tired and say later or tomorrow. So, one morning, after my dad left for work, I decided to take matters into my own hands because my other attempts weren't working. I took a screwdriver and removed the training wheels off my bike myself and started to teach myself how to ride it. There were times where I felt like giving up, but imagining riding my bike with all my friends down in the neighborhood motivated me to keep going. I still have a scar on my knee from when I scraped it from falling so many times. When I leaned a little bit too much to the right and fell over, I would get back up and lean a little bit less to the right. And I improved little things like that, and soon enough, I was riding perfectly on my bike. And when my dad pulled into the driveway by the end of the day, I was perfectly riding my bike without training. That day, I learned something important. Failure wasn't something to be afraid of. Every fall, every scrape, every wobble taught me something new, bringing me one step closer to success. If I had given up after the first few falls, I never would have realized the importance of failure and how it can lead you to success. People are afraid to embrace failure because no one has shown them that it's okay to accept that it'll only help in the future. Failure. It's a word that people have been exposed to as something we should fear. But failure is a path to success. And I'm not just saying that because it would look good on the Pinterest board, but I also have science to back me up. The brain is more capable than we think. It has the amazing ability of neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to adapt and change. The brain is always working double time to rewire itself after failures, to open new opportunities for growth. If you consciously reframe failures as a learning experience, it'll allow your brain to reshape and build neural connections. Just keep swimming. I'm sure all of you have heard this famous movie quote from the movie Finding Nemo. This phrase is for when Marlin, Nemo's dad, feels like giving up after looking for his son, but is always coming up short. Dory, who's helping Marlin find Nemo, comes up with the phrase, just keep swimming, as a motto, to keep pushing through the difficulties. Even though Dory has short-term memory loss, this was the one phrase that kept playing in her mind persevere. And this phrase is what eventually helped Marlon and Dory find Nemo. Now, I'm hoping most of you have heard of this famous book series, or have at least watched the movies. When the author J.K. Rowling first started writing the Harry Potter series, she went to 12 publishers who had all turned her down before the 13th one finally agreed to print the story. Now, this series is a New York bestseller and popular all over the world. If Rowling had given up after the first few rejections, she wouldn't have realized her potential, and we wouldn't have known about this amazing series. Because she took those rejections as a sign to keep trying harder, she became extremely successful. I mean, there have been movies and theme parks made based off the series, and she's one of the richest authors in the world. Her story is a testament of grit and perseverance, and it all starts with the mind. A growth mindset that allows opportunity for improvement is so challenging to achieve because once there's a bump in the road, it's easier just to turn around and give up. But once a growth mindset is practiced and applied, it's so much easier to see past those hardships and look at how those can be the building blocks to your goal. We always want to go back into our shell of a fixed mindset where we are dead set on one goal, and once something goes wrong, there's no way around it. But again, the neuroplasticity of the brain is what allows us to improve from our mistakes. So, the next time failure pushes you to give up, like getting a bad grade on a test, or getting fired from a job, think about Thomas Edison and how he worked to invent the light bulb, or how J.K. Rowling pushed through multiple rejections to become successful. Acknowledge that your brain is capable from learning from its mistakes through neuroplasticity. Embrace a growth mindset and improve from every mistake and setback. And finally, I want you to remember this. Failure is the journey to success. I mean, it does look good on the Pinterest board, but it also holds a powerful truth. Embrace this mindset and let it propel you through every failure. Thank you.